everyone, and welcome to another episode of GodSaw's Turnbuckle, the wrestling video podcast here on YouTube. And yeah, this is going to focus around WWE NXT on August the 16th, 2017. This is the go-home show for right before NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. For other programming notes, as I think I said during my SmackDown video that's just going up right now, I'm kind of doing a back-to-back-to-back type video day right now. So like I said, this one's focusing around that, and I had also gotten a lot of other stuff on the YouTube channel going, especially with simulation matches for both NXT TakeOver and for the SummerSlam in the terms of their of simulation matches using Fire Pro Wrestling World. So sorry for like flooding your subscription box if you're watching via subscription or anything and to go along with that. I don't typically like to go that way, but with the amount of content needing to go out this week, kind of got to do that at this point in time. Though I will probably hold off on putting out my predictions episodes until tomorrow to go along with. So let's go. That's just kind of like programming notes for where things are going to be going on this channel, everything in that sense. So let's get right into it. We have WWE NXT on August 16, 2017. Like I said before, this is the go-home show right before TakeOver Brooklyn. And they started off the show kind of how they usually end a lot of these shows in the terms of the ones right before TakeOver, which is usually with a contract sign. But they started off here with Ember Moon and Asuka. And, this was basically just both of them having a stare down and, you know, both of them cutting their own promos, everything in that sense. I'm not 100% convinced behind Ember Moon's promo. I mean, she doesn't deliver bad promos. Let's not lie about that one. She doesn't deliver bad promos by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of confidence behind it. Like, everything she's done, like, people are always wowed by, or is like her in-ring at this point in time. In that sense. And basically, Asuka's promo is just her, basically eviscerating or, like, just talking down Ember Moon in Japanese the entire time. So your typical fare for a lot of contract signings in NXT, they don't really go into the physicality area. It's usually based around their promos where they go along with everything. And that's what this one basically was as well. It wasn't really much of anything going into the TakeOver event for Saturday. Now, almost at Sunday, but for Saturday. So up next, you had a couple segments here with Lars Sullivan. He goes into William Regal's office wanting another tag team match. I don't know why this guy wants a tag team match, because it's almost like he gets a guy who will get destroyed while he does the destroying, and then destroys the guy after they lose the match, after he gets in and ends out losing the match here. But and I like how Regal points out, it's like, why would I give you another tag team match when you destroy your tag team partner after each match? So Regal does give him the match, but with some reservations, because Lars says, don't worry, I won't destroy the guy in the ring tonight, or anything to go along with it. So Lars Sullivan did have a tag team partner. Name was Chris Silvio, a guy like you could tell the size difference in general, the height and the size in the terms of the body difference between both the guys, and they went up against the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. And Montez Ford, I have a feeling he's going to be kind of the standout guy here, and it's not hard to see why he would be considered the standout guy. Just like athletically, he looks like he looks more athletic. He is more athletic than Dawkins is. Everything to go along with it. I like how at one random part, Lars at the beginning of the match I want to start this match. And his partner's like, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. The bell rings and his partner runs right to the middle of the ring, gets destroyed. And Montez Ford just randomly, he tags in and D'Angelo Dawkins, or Angelo Dawkins, and just like sprints through the crowd throughout the entire bit, almost having like a pre-celebration. At one point, he even gets back into the ring, and he kind of has like that. They like everybody who goes up against Lars Sullivan gets that moment where they meet up like eye to eye. And it's like, I don't want to mess with you in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to mess with this guy. And Lars is even like, let him tag me in. And Montez Ford is like, nope. And they end out beating Chris Silvio basically in a squash match. Lars doesn't get in the ring, and like everybody's like recognizing after the match is like they're even starting like a Lars is gonna kill you thing, like they did with Joe and like they do with Asuka and everything in that sense. So they're gonna say Lars is gonna kill you now. The crowd's getting into that, and the ref's like, no, don't do it. And Lars like, get out of my way. He just picks up his partner and carries him off. It's like, oh, he's gonna be nice to his tag team partner. And then it's like they're going on with the rest of the show, and it's like, oh wait a minute, there's something going on backstage. We got to cut to this, and it's basically Lars taking his partner outside, destroy him out there, and puts him in a dumpster, and puts him into a actually it's not a dumpster, it's like a garbage bin, one of those rolling garbage bins, and then walks off. I feel like I feel like Lars is not a guy who's supposed to be comedy, but he's kind of coming off as comical a little bit, because technically he didn't destroy the guy inside the ring. He waited till he got him outside. Just saying. Just saying on that one. And it's going to be interesting to see where they decide to go with Lars in any way. Is it going to be one of those bits where he has a bunch of tag team partners and then eventually he just finds one he likes? Or are they just going to come to the realization it's like, this guy needs to be in singles matches. He just needs to be in singles matches. He just destroys things. That's what he does. So we'll see where they go with Lars down the road here. Street Profits. I'm enjoying the antics. I am kind of enjoying the antics, even though I'm still not a fan of this whole, like, D'Angelo, like, Dawkins, like, doing the whole this. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. But everything else they do is actually kind of fun. So yeah, we'll see how they continue on with Street Profits as well down the line here. Up next, they had Billie Kay going up against Ruby Riott. And they did show the thing that kind of started all this, where they were kind of making fun of Ruby Riott while they were trying to do some like iPhone video and everything to go along with that. It's one of those bits. This was a lot more character work than anything. Like, the match itself was fine, but you have this whole bit where both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are doing this whole like poking at each other bit. And having it's like whenever they gain control, and you had even Billie Kay kind of talking the really like low, or not really low, but almost like the baby talk type of bit to try to make fun of Ruby Riott. And then Ruby Riott, like after she gains control, makes fun of both of them by doing it right back at them. This was good stuff. This was really good. Like, the character work was great in this match, and that's where this match kind of shines at, is the character work that they did with both of them. The match itself is kind of all right. Ruby Riott goes over with her almost like Pele / bicycle style kick to the head, which is her finisher. She beats Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce gets on the microphone and basically, like, with the worst comment that you could possibly, or like, in terms of worst comment that she could come up with is like, okay, you won this match, but you'll never be iconic. And Ruby Riott's like, okay, off I go. Won the match. A moment to go along with it. Like I said, good character work throughout the entire match. That's what that match kind of boiled down to. In the terms of its like in-ring technical prowess and everything in that sense, it wasn't all that good, but they did some good character work in there, and you're entertained in this match to go along with it. So this brings us to the main event of the night, which was Drew McIntyre going up against Roderick Strong. These two put on a good match. They put on a really good match, and they even tease it a little bit. They even tease it a little bit that they are going to almost want to make this a triple threat, because Bobby Roode in the end comes out and attacks. But this is before, but beforehand, like they were kind of telling the story like this was Drew McIntyre's biggest test to date since coming into NXT. Like, you had Roderick Strong kind of chipping away at Drew McIntyre as much as he possibly could throughout the entire match, and each guy getting a good chunk of offense in until Bobby Roode comes out and attacks Roderick Strong and Drew McIntyre, laying them both out. And basically, after he hits the glorious DDT on both of them, I believe he hits glorious DDT on Roderick Strong outside the ring and then Drew McIntyre inside, just screaming at Drew McIntyre afterwards as they go off the air, "This is my NXT, not your NXT, not their NXT, my NXT." Good way of going off the air with this one. I did enjoy the main event for what it was. The whole aspect of and it's always a little bit weird when they actually have kind of one of these screwy finishes or non-finishes to a match at any of their matches. A lot of these matches always end in like a pinfall or a submission or something in that sense. You don't see DQs or no contest all that often. At least with the factor of people running in. You don't see it as often as you would say on the main roster to go along with everything. But overall, they put on a good match, and this was a fairly entertaining episode of NXT going into NXT Takeover. So yeah, it was a fairly, like I said, fairly entertaining one. So that's pretty much everything I have for NXT this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of GodSaw's Turnbuckle. Again, like I said, I have simulation matches using Fire Pro Wrestling World for all the NXT Takeover and the SummerSlam matches, at least that are named to date right now, up on my channel if you want to check those out as well. I thank you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your day.